What is going on, guys? Me and Kobe are back here with the Black Legends tournament. We need a nice little water break, and we're just going to introduce to you real quick this new super dope thing we got called Brago.
Yeah, let me hit that for you guys, Bragg. You might have seen during that last break those little balls that were coming down with the numbers. Bingo, I'm assuming the same thing. We just don't got the cool little metal mechanic thing. But pretty much during the Black Legends, we're introducing Braga, which is pretty much our house edition of Bingo to our mobile app. So if you don't have our mobile app, please go download that because it's absolutely amazing and you get to place bets and everything else. But also, you got a Brago card here on the app that has 24 randomized numbers in a single free space for you guys to use in the middle. And then you just watch this, which you guys have already been doing. So I don't know why you would complain or why you wouldn't even do it. Just do it. Just do it already. But we'll give you guys the numbers on the screen. You guys literally just fill it out. And if you select the corresponding things and they're called, you do a single submission. It's verified, everything. We like to keep things official here. We like the verification. And then the first three players who get their brag O's will get a $100 gift card to the platform of their choice. So we're giving y'all free money right now. If you guys aren't doing it, why? You're missing out, honestly. But yeah, that's brag O's. And let's get into the top 20. Let's get back into the game. Let's hit this stuff.
So we do see Good Boys still on top with a nice little 73 points. I mean that lead between first and second it just keeps getting larger every single game. But I think Texas Tech still, if they have these next two games are huge, they could easily make their way into first place if Good Boys gets taken out early. And we got Team Solo Squads jumping to third place because of Game 4, which is honestly insane. They fought, they swept up, they cleaned up, and they made their way all the way to third place, which is just insane to see. Antimatter Gaming in fourth with 32. SPG has been in fifth place these past couple games, but they still have not dropped out of the top five, which is still good for them. And they're kind of plateauing right now, but at least, they're not on the decline. We see
Yeah,
Filet Mignon with 28 points. Los Phasmos dropping back down to seventh, unfortunately. EUP Green 22. Team Olympus with a nice 20 spot, overall points, which looks really nice. And then Texas Tech Black with a close 19 points.
I know. And the chat's mentioning Los Phasmos is 22 kills, 22 placement points. Wild. That two numbers are the same. Let's go. No, but I agree with you guys that Good Boys, the lead definitely seems to be extending, but they kind of got stopped in their tracks last game by Team Solo Squads, and Team Solo Squads really jumped up here and really started putting in work. Shout out the janitors. They definitely push themselves into a really good position and can continue that in these next few games and potentially hit first place if they play as good as they just were, knocking out all of these high tier teams as early as possible.
And we do have a nice little prize breakdown for everyone here at home or any of the participants in stream. We do have a $600 scholarship that can get donated to any HBCU of your choice. That'll have your team's name on it. It'll have your name on it. It's really cool. And we're just trying to celebrate, Black History Month and honor all these HBCU students and alumni that we greatly appreciate. And then we do have, a little bit of some for the winners. Your choice of select gaming gear. So, that could get you a new headset, a new mouse, a new keyboard. Maybe you need a little bit of an upgrade, new controller, and then 2,000 brag bucks each on top of that. So, you do get to bring home a nice little thing, but you do also get to donate to a HBCU and help out a student, they could really use it. And that's the whole point of this tournament. It's for a great cause. We're out here, to have fun, play with our friends. I love Kobe. That's my boy. I'm glad to be casting it with him. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of best friends out there playing in this tournament together. So this tournament's really just to bring everyone together and just, kind of have a good time and celebrate this great month that we got going on.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of our Brag House tournaments. We really just like the sense of community. We bring everybody together just for a good time. It's super fun. It's super casual, but we can get competitive, as you're saying, in this tournament. Also, I was flaming y'all earlier, but yeah, I think the kills were wrong on that. Los Phasmos is at 27, though. I think kills are wrong. But let's jump into the character selection.
So it does look like we are seeing a lot of the same picks. We see Texas Tech Black with the crypto, Team Olympus with only 2 players. It looks like people are still deciding on these characters that they're going to need to pick. Um, but I'm definitely interested to see what underdog teams are going to make their way back, up the ranks.
Yeah, and Texas Tech Black actually coming in using Revenant. I think that's the first time we've seen him all tournament, if I recall correctly. An interesting pick, and I'm curious to see if it pays off for them. Um, and whether or not these these drops are going to be similar. As I always say, it's definitely very, very important for you to be able to get ahead in this early game.
Yeah, no, this early game, we do see good boys looking to still, keep doing what's been working for them, land this back corner of the map in Lava City, and maybe it looks like they might not be contested anymore. So they might have Big Mod and Lava City to themselves and able to just kind of take advantage of that. And who knows how it'll turn out. They could come out of this area with a whole bunch of loot and end up on top.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if Good Boys really plays as aggressive as they've been doing. Obviously, their KP is some of the strongest in our entire leaderboard, and they've been going super aggressive and making sure that they end all of these gunfights in their favor. But I'm curious if they're going to keep that up, because they did get knocked out pretty early last game, and I bet they want to keep up those placement points. I bet they do not want to get out nearly as early as they did last game, and I'm curious to see if that's going to affect their playstyle.
Oh, definitely not. And we already see a whole bunch of kills going down in the kill feed. We see Beer Guts Jr., who is on Texas Tech Red. They already squad wiped the team. We see SPG pulling up crazy and streamer building on Fake Twigs. They already got the knock. So it is currently a 3v2 with SPG being up a person already.
God, SPG consistently fighting these early game fights and just trying to get as, effective of a lead as possible. It's been paying off pretty decently in the past, just these safe KPs going in, trying to get a little bit of an advantage for themselves. But last time, their aggression is what got them taken out pretty early. So let's see if this will actually pay off in the end, or if it might lead them to another death.
And it looks like they do get the full squad wipe on Texas Tech Red. And it's just kind of insane to just see how aggressively they aped that team and made sure that they were, had no chance to do anything off drop.
Yeah, no, definitely an unfortunate start. But hey, take what you can get. SVG definitely seeming like they're going to be put into a better position for the rest of this game, especially early game. And I think that's the majority of the squads taken out around them. So hopefully there's no third party shenanigans going on.
Yeah, especially like a fight that was that aggressive. You're chasing down players, you're chasing down a team. It could lead you out of position and into a really bad spot. So they did kind of luck out that that didn't happen to them. And it looks like they are going to have almost all of Fragment to themselves to loot and just kind of get kitted and make their way throughout the rest of this game.
Yeah, it looks like they are taking that kind of edge approach, but it'll be interesting to see EUP Green, which is a team that we haven't really seen a lot of today, but has consistently been placing pretty high on the leaderboard. It's definitely one of our top 10 contenders, and see how their kind of play style is reflected here. It looks like they're gonna have 2 blue armors and a purple. Pretty good start this early on in the game.
Yeah, this location is such a great spot to drop because there are plenty of opportunities to just kind of back out and make your way to different areas on the map. You can rotate all the way around, you can push through the middle. There's definitely a whole bunch of different ways to just kind of loot up and rotate from there.
No, I completely agree, and it looks like they're definitely trying to move a little bit inland, trying to get as much, maybe even kills as possible here. EUB Green might be taking the aggressive play style and trying to really knock up some KP for the rest of this tournament.
I'm curious if it looks like Deuceman is in a really bad spot, caught down here on this hill, but he is going to back up to his teammate and not let him, he doesn't want to be caught in that low ground, but it does look like Trace Snow Owl is stuck down there by himself and is just kind of in a bad spot and is kind of split from his teammates right now.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like they're getting committed on too hard though, so I don't think it's gonna really pay off too badly unless Trace is definitely taking some extra damage here. They seem to be very split off. We'll see if they can do the saving Private Ryan moment and get their teammate out of this kind of sticky situation.
It does look like he was able to back up. Gibby has that fortified minus 15% minus 15% like damage reduction, and then the bubble and the Gibby shield on top of it, and able to just kind of get that free reset and back up.
Yeah, no, switching over to antimatter here and going back to Best Buffer with the charge rifle has been absolutely deadly in his hands. I'm definitely going to be able to probably charge this Evo up to purple momentarily, honestly, with how he's been playing. It'll be pretty interesting to see how this team kind of performs here with the high ground. They've got the black market up. They're looting up. They're making sure that they're going to be in a good position here with the purple armor right next to him.
Yeah, that charge rifle we have noticed the whole entire time has just been, King Grief or the Griefing gun. Teams just beaming other people across the map, looking to get off that damage, looking to, take teams out and not allow them to play as aggressively as they want or mess up their rotations.
Yeah, and I'm curious why Best Pepper didn't take that purple armor right next to him. A little peculiar. Maybe you didn't notice it, or maybe there's some strategy behind it, but still putting in some work here, getting pretty damaged here. Gonna have to retreat.
And we see
missed.
Best Pupper got absolutely beamed, missed his Q. So I'm curious. Oh, it looks like they're going to drop a portal for him and make sure he gets out of that safely, because he could have been in a really bad spot.
Yeah, especially in a tunnel like that. Super choke point. If he got pushed on from any side, he was pretty much done for there. So shout out to the team for really full sending that portal there and helping make sure that he gets out all right.
And we do see Filet Mignon here playing this, backside. They know there's a whole bunch of teams around them, so I don't think they're going to fully commit to anything. It looks like they're just trying to take some better angles and work their way around that and see if there's going to be any opportunities for them to kind of move in and use that to their advantage.
Yeah, and I'm curious, as you said, I'm curious if they're going to be able to get that opportunity, right? Because it seems like they are getting picked at from up above with some teams that have the high ground. And so just trying to maneuver this effectively, I think, is going to give Filet Mignon definitely a positional advantage and also make sure that they don't get wiped here at the 11th squad mark.
Yeah, and we do see young Paulito here. He's trying to get up with his team and get that full reset. And we do see Team Olympus, unfortunately, with only 2 players due to a server issue, but they are there. They are playing a little bit slower now, and they still are looking to secure those placement points.
Oh yeah, Olympus definitely has to rat here. No question about it. Trying to, especially with teams this good, to go into 2v3s and expecting to win definitely is, that's an ego right there. That's the ego. And I think Olympus definitely is going to try to play a little bit safer here and just to make sure that they can secure these placement points because they're so important for them. And they've been placing pretty high these last few games. I think this kind of rat play style has been pretty decent for them. So we'll see if they can do
it. And we
do
that. See kill feed still Titan, get a knock on gains 50, Headsy with the knock on Stee, Titan with the full squad wipe on gains, and there's just a whole bunch going down in the kill feed. Pubsky taking out no movement, and these teams are just playing aggressive now.
Yeah, the Mad Maggie pick, interesting to see. I don't think we've got a lot of time to watch Mad Maggie in this tournament so far, but we can see that the power of her aggression and her kind of thermite drill definitely can get people into kind of sticky situations that they're forced to escape from.
Yeah, no, 100% is such a good character to play a little bit more aggressive lift, discombobulate other teams, and use that to their advantage.
Yeah, and it looks like they are getting picked off from potentially another team here. Definitely putting proficiency in a pretty bad spot. SPG, though, not foreign to these type of positions, so they might be able to get out of here scot-free. They know when to disengage, and it seems like they are doing exactly that.
Yeah, they're doing a very good job at backing up. They understand they can't take that fight, so using that opportunity to just kind of reset, get full HP, and try and find a different way to approach it is going to be really important.
Yeah, now we got Redbird over here. It seems that we haven't been able to see a lot of either, but looks like they're all trapped inside of this building right here. I'm curious if they're going to have to disengage or whether or not they even can with this team quickly approaching them.
Yeah, so we do see they are are electing to use this portal to kind of get out of this building. This building does have a lot of different entrances, and it is very hard to, make your way out of that without, a different strategy. You can't just run out or you're going to get beamed by multiple teams, and they're looking to play this rock in the low ground right now.
Yeah, and I wonder if this is actually going to be beneficial for them. It seems like they're able to get out scot-free. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. The caster's curse, it always hits. But just being able to kind of play out here. But the farther they go back, I'm just worried that maybe another team might push up from their backside and really, really put them in an unfortunate spot here.
Yeah, I'm curious where they're going to rotate to right now. They do not have a Gibby. They don't have, Wraith Portal. They could Valk ult if they start rotating and end up in a bad spot. But for this moment, they're just kind of out in the open. And I'm curious to see, where are they going to play? Where are they going to try and settle down at? Or are they going to get more aggressive and try and get some KP on the board?
No, it seems like they cannot catch a break here. It seems like no matter where they're going, shots are flying towards, and they're taking damage, and not putting a lot on the board either. Which means that they're kind of just letting people charge up their Evo shields for free and not really getting any of that reward from doing it themselves. Potentially putting them into a worse position later on because they're wasting meds, and not only are they wasting meds, they're giving these other teams a armor advantage.
So we do see Anti-Gaming right here. He does get a crack onto the Bloodhound, but he does have to back up because he did take a lot of damage. And this team is looking like they can't, push up too hard or as hard as they want to because of the player backup sitting on the roof, holding that angle, and, negating any sort of push coming from Antimatter Gaming.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that we've seen the RE45 here. Very not inherently an interesting choice, just because they put hammer point rounds on it now. But definitely like kind of a peculiar one. I'm curious to see how well it pays off, because pretty much we've just been seeing R301s. We've been seeing a lot of flat lines, kind of like the meta stuff. And I want to see the RE45 really put in some work.
So it does look like we do have Good Boys down a player. I wonder if they're going to, take the risk and respawn right there. But Lionwolf takes a whole bunch of damage. Luckily gets out with the Lobo Q and still gets knocked by Best Pupper. And I'm curious, it is a 1v3, 1v2. And I think Pubsky is trying to make a run for it. And Pubsky gets taken out, unfortunately, by that charge rifle. I mean, that RE45 hammer points is disgusting.
Hey, I said I wanted to see it put in some work, and he definitely did, allowing them to secure 2 kills there on Good Boys, which is our team leader. So, I mean, that's not a bad place for Antimatter to be in, especially one of our heavy hitters in this tournament.
Yeah, this is a great position for Antimatter to be in. They know the first place team is out, and now all they have to do is work around that. And we see Egro Messiah down in the kill feed by Young Palito, and I'm curious to see, like, how are these teams, where are they fighting at? How aggressive are they playing in order to, negate any other of the top 5 teams making their way up?
Yeah, and it looks like we just got thrown into the chaos right here. SPG getting absolutely sprayed down. Illegal taking quite a bit of damage here. This looks like a pretty chaotic spot to be. We've seen a lot of battles and interactions take place here. It's definitely a big point of interest. And what is going to happen, right? Who is going to become victorious here? Looks like Best Pepper taking out some people in the field right now.
So I do believe there are 3 teams here. SPG had just taken out Frost, Officer Booth, who I believe that is Redbird varsity team, and they got the nice squad wipe on them. But remember, Catgirl Cafe does have 2 players knocked, and it looked like they kind of just forgot about them. So I'm curious if Zuni, Catgirl Cafe's third, is going to be able to get the revive on his teammates. And right as soon as I say that, E-Girl Messiah,
I was going to say cast the curse. Caster's
But
curse.
Skybreaker is still alive and could make her way out.
Yeah, it looks like both of them are going to be able to get out here. I'm unsure if they're going to be able to get this banner just because it is in kind of a trickier spot. But Black Market definitely going to hopefully give them a bit of an advantage, get them some shield bats if they need them. Just put them in a better position.
2 players alive is most definitely better than 1. So shout out Zuni for being able to, get at least one of his teammates up and allowing them to back up and get just a full reset.
Have RIP Ego and Messiah. Again, they might be able to full send this banner, but it's very, very I mean, it could be difficult there, especially if they're camping the banner, which we've seen quite a few times this tournament, but we've also seen people be generous. I guess that's the brag house, just people wanting to be a little bit nicer to each other, but definitely allowed some people to get their banners. So let's see if Ego and Messiah is just fully out for the count, or if maybe, they'll be able to recover it right now.
It looks like they're going for it. I mean, they do have a Pathfinder on their team. If he can sneak his way in, grab banner, and grapple out, that could be pretty good news for Cat Girl Cafe. And it looks like they might be able to actually snag it.
Yeah, just so close in terms of time, because time was definitely not on their side there. That was very close. It looks like SPG just noticed what had happened, but I think they're getting initiated on by another team. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to follow up with it.
Now the real question is, where does Cat Girl Cafe revive at? Do they take the risk and go close for the loot, or do they have to, sacrifice the revive and revive him further away so he has no opportunity to loot? But at least he's alive, right?
Yeah, and but they do have a Lobe on their team, so with a black market, potentially you would be able to kind of gear up very fast after that revive, but the difficult part is getting that revive station, especially if they don't have any mobile respawns.
Yeah, that is a super good point. That Loba makes the revive a little bit more important or a little bit more helpful because they're able to off drop, throw down the Loba ult, and at least you can grab two guns or you can grab a better armor and a gun. Anything helps than, kind of what you start off with.
Yeah, and this Kraber in the hands of Lapsy, I'm curious if it's going to be able to really kind of put in some work here, right? The Kraber, definitely a gun that requires some skill, but also incredibly deadly. Could definitely get some one-hit kills here.
Oh, I know. Labsy is just watering at the mouth. He wants that kill. But we do see Antimatter Gaming pulling up aggressively. That RE45 putting in the work. They're just putting so much damage onto Pokesnapped and Rage Sam in this corner. And they will get the squad wipe on them. And they're looking to do a reset after taking all of that damage.
Yeah, and honestly, Antimatter looking really good going into these last few zones. I mean, they got the shields for sure. They definitely got the gameplay going right now. Definitely got the momentum on their side with the kill leader. I wonder if they're really just trying to play aggressive so they can catch up to our first place team, which is already out. This would be the game to do it.
Yeah, without a single doubt. They were super close. They're in that top 5. It looks like they're already having an amazing game. Only 5 teams alive, and we see Best Pupper with 6 kills, 1 assist, 1,700 damage, kind of putting in that work for his team. And I definitely am excited to see where they end up at the end of this game and where they end up on the overall leaderboards.
Yeah, and Antimatter's had a position like this before. The high ground inside of the zone with the charge rifle kind of just poking at teams below. The issue was, though, in the second game is that they got pushed on, they got EO checked, and then got forced to get third-partied. So I'm curious if a similar situation is going to happen here, or they'll be able to play it a little bit better now that they've learned from their mistakes.
Yeah, we definitely did see them, kind of lose that advantage of the height. And I'm definitely curious as well, how they're going to play this out after, understanding what had happened to them in the previous games.
And it looks like we're going back over to SPG with the Kraber. Ooh, and yeah, I know his mouth is definitely watering.
So we do see him being a little bit more conservative with these Kraber bullets. It looks like he only has 6 reserve. So this could be very important once teams start to rotate in. They're going to want to hold them out, maybe show presence with the Kraber and just be like, hey, don't come anywhere near us or you're going to get headshotted. And things like that. Showing presence is really important in these type of circles because you don't want a team to just, pull up on you and accidentally grief your game without even realizing it.
Yeah, and the amount of space that you can put between yourself and another team is so important. Oh my god, lovely.
And Lapsy
right
with the knock onto Best Pupper, who is currently the kill leader. Let's see, do they fight this or do they just stay back and keep playing slow?
And honestly, I don't know which will be more wise, right? Because showing kind of the dominance of the Kraber and making sure that people don't want to push up on you is very important for securing these placement spots. But the KP is tempting as always. So I wonder what direction they're going to take this in.
It looks like they do not elect to push up on it too hard. It looks like Anti is getting the full reset. Pupper will be full HP, but then Amaze gets beamed, and but they do trade off, and it looks like Best Pupper is pulling up with that RE45, taking a lot of damage. Goes down by Cheeser. It is a
Oh my
2v1
god!
right now, and it looks like Los Phasmos is going absolutely insane right now. They're trying to make sure that Anti does not win this match.
Yeah, and it looks like they're doing a pretty good job at that, especially with the oh, is that going to be it? And that seems to be it. 4 squads left.
It is an absolute gun range right now. Players going all over the place, bullets flying, and it looks like SPG is going to try and get that reset and revive proficiency after, that hectic 20 seconds what just happened.
Yeah, and we've got this Kraber, but now that it's getting a little bit closer in range, oh my god. Are they going to push this Gibby bubble, or are they going to kind of let it play out a little bit?
I don't know. It looks like they don't elect to push it because, mind you, there is still one more team alive. They can pull it behind them pretty hard. So we're going to see what happens. How hard do they decide to commit? Because they can't take too much damage or they could be in a really bad spot.
Yeah, it looks like there's 3 squads left. Proficiency taking out Cheeser. Looks like a Los Phasmos definitely giving in a really tricky spot here. That Kraber looking mad threatening.
So right now we got a nice little 3v2 going on in this corner. Los Phasmos loses one player. Lapsy overcommits, gets shot down to 40 HP. Illegal movement, pulling up crazy, gets out, he gets knocked. Diversity kid with the knock.
Oh, will they get three? Will they get third partied here? There's only 2 of them up proficiency, and Lapsy's looking pretty low on health, but has full shields. It's gonna be a close one. Are they going to try to continue this momentum, or are they gonna get stopped in their tracks?
Let's see, does Lapsy get this final kill? And
Oh my
Lapsy gets
god,
the final kill and ends it with the Kraber.
Oh my
Shout
god,
out SPG.
so dominant.
That was an insane end game. A whole bunch of gunfights, a whole bunch of action. Shout out the top 3 people: SPG, Lapsy, Proficiency, and Illegal Movement with that dub right there. That was super big. They finally broke that plateau that they were in. Shout out Los Phasmos. And, shout out to everyone. That was an insane game.
That was incredible. We talked about the dominance of that Kraber in that late game, showing the presence, and they were playing so aggressive with it, even in the close range encounters. And oh my god, what a fire way to end that final kill. Oh my god, SPG looking absolutely on top of their game. Unfortunate L for Antimatter there as well. Got taken out. They looked really strong going into these final zones, but really got kind of dog piled on and really couldn't find their way out of it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree anymore. And to go over these stats real quick of this last game, we got SPG with a total of 14 KP and a first place. That is, I think, a 26-point game, which is absolutely insane. Filet Mignon in second with 3 KP. Los Phasmos in third place with 2 KP. Cat Girl Cafe, we saw them down pretty early, but it looks like they did clutch it up and make their way back in fourth place. And Antimatter Gaming with 8 KP in a fifth place. So
No,
it
that
looks
was
like we
the
got a
mad.
whole bunch of teams. Oh no, it looks like we got a whole bunch of teams just kind of trying to squeak their way up and make their way up the leaderboard for this final match.
I was going to say, I think that's the Mad Maggie difference, and hopefully we'll be able to see some more Mad Maggie after this upcoming break. Thank you guys. Again, we're incredibly excited about this tournament, and it's been absolutely amazing so far. See you guys in the final match.